Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome back to Ashton Promotions live from Nottingham, England. So ladies and gentlemen, our next out continues, our action continues here. So please welcome into the blue corner, Emmanuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Into the Jungle of Ashton Promotions here at the Palais in Nottingham. We have Danny Danny McLean facing against Emmanuel. This, obviously, you know Danny quite well, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, he's a tough operator in a way. He's a very attacking operator, and also, you know, he's liable to vulnerabilities as he attacks. You know, but he's built himself a reputation over the years in them.
Yeah, for a fact.
And he's well respected in the community of boxing.
He's got a personality, he moves around. Overall, he's a great lad. Yeah, that should be a bit better. Is that a bit better? Yeah, my microphone's a bit quiet. Can you hear me now? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so Danny's built up a reputation. He's a very nice lad, very polite. He trains really hard. I know.
He had a difficult outing at the motor point.
After his last one, took that loss.
I mean, to be honest, that was because he was very attacking going through that round. You know, he didn't see the vulnerabilities going on for the opponent. Adrenaline will take its part. You know, but he should have won that. He should have won that fight clean. But that's what it is. But now he's on the comeback trail, really. He's ready to redeem himself and pick himself back up, to put himself on that high pedestal again as one of the best, technical fighters and also power punchers in his division.
I can personally say I've seen Danny in the gym every day since I lost, working himself to the bone. So if Emmanuel's up to the task, we're in for a spectacle tonight.
Well, Dad's always telling me oh, can you help me out with just a few slips, myself, I'm a bit more when it comes to just some little things.
Yeah.
Little things. It's the little things that matter, isn't it? You know, you're stepping back, slipping, rolling and stuff. But he's a horror warrior. And, he's more than capable of moving forward. He's more than capable of retaining knowledge and showing it in the ring.
Right, we're getting too excited. Let's get into these sponsors. Danny MC, sponsored by the Right Wrong Podcast Media, Final Touch Painting and Decorating, and Entrepreneur.
So they're the sponsors that are sponsoring Danny Mac at Cherry Blossoms, which is located at St Hill Gym, up at near Broxton Lane, obviously near Bullwall.
Trained by the man himself, Paul Lenihan, absolute legend.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah, next level.
He's a funny guy though, he's got some great charisma.
Not just that, he's a great person. Knowing him outside of all of this, he does a lot for people.
I've sent a few fighters towards him because I was busy. So I know that he just generally wants the best out of his fighters.
He does a lot for people and he really does care about his fighters. It's great to see.
He's got, and even if it's all over the country, I tell you what, if one of your fighters will be fighting in London and they're fighting in Nottingham, they're 4 hours apart, he'd make it.
Yeah.
Because he generally cares about the stable that he's got.
Yeah.
For him, it's not about money, it's about, the love of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a great fight, guys. I'll put that out there. Because Emmanuel, he does have long hands. Danny Mac will be more of the aggressor. Emmanuel will try to step off himself and lead it on.
I'm going to try not to be too biased, everyone, but I did show him that one in the back room. So again,
Leighton does fight under the same fight camp as Danny Mac, which is the Cherry Blossoms at Liberties, which is on Cinderella Island in Nottingham.
Yeah, Danny Mac, very good friend of mine personally. Paul Lenihan, my personal mentor.
I get on with everybody in the boxing community, so I can be so. I expect, even coming to this day, I expect Danny to be more the aggressor.
Yeah.
But he's stepping off a little bit. But he already knows that any punch that he's throwing right now is connected and hurting.
Yeah.
But he isn't leading through with the jab that we know that he can do and then follow through.
Danny was gunning for the rematch with the lad at Motorpoint. I'm not quite sure on his name. But he got told that's not going to happen now.
It will eventually happen, but he obviously have had that step back that has put him to realise that he, sometimes you have to realise, you won't progressing quick, but you can't jump into something that's that, high octane too quick. Do you understand? Like,
yeah, we've heard rumours that his opponent has gone on to.
It will make him a better
unlicensed fighter.
It will make him a better fighter at defeat, I believe. Because he's got something to prove.
But what
that
I really
that
like
will make him better as a fighter because, the big stage, he probably, from what I remember... It takes a loss to
know what you need to change.
Of course. We can't all be perfect. Do you know what I mean? We're not all the Mayweathers, Kawasaki's. Do you know what I mean? We're not all the best. Muhammad Ali lost a few fights, but he's still considered the greatest.
Me, myself, I can personally comment on it. I was dreadful until I lost for the first time. I took a little break from the sport, disheartened, got back into it, and I only remember the good things. I lost all of my bad habits. It did wonders for me. Losing was the best thing I ever did.
When I was fighting, I'll say this, but I always fought bigger people because I thought I had something to prove. But I didn't. But I lost 3 fights, I won 3 fights, etc. But the ones that I did win were always against bigger people because I had determination, drill, and desire. Because what happened previous. But, when you're fighting someone that's like the same category as you, the same weight and look, you know what I mean? It's only you that can, retain that information and put the pressure on that you know you can do.
Whoever wants it.
Realistically, yeah. And also gaining a little bit of new skill that you might not know you had. You're parrying, moving, and slipping. It's all right coming forward all the time. But if you're not proving yourself to move your head and move around, you won't succeed because you're just doing the same thing that the opponents watch.
I'm liking this little contest for the outside foot at the moment. Even though it's very subtle, both fighters are very clearly doing it. I've noticed a lot. Danny, I was showing
Danny's stepping in and out. He's got caught with a body shot. His opponent's literally put overhand right, but he's pulled back a little bit.
The key thing for how Danny's landing all these shots, he's stepping to his opponent's right. Well, he's stepping to his outside foot.
I would believe that Danny is hesitating a little bit. He's not really applying the pressure that he should. Normally, he would step in with a jab and apply pressure.
I think
it might be the situation from the moment what happened that it gives him that tension that he's got now.
I think he's looking for a little TikTok video to be made or something. He wants that one-shot finish. But if he's too greedy trying to find it, then he just won't throw anything.
He's not leading in. He's not letting it lead in. Do you understand? He's not setting it up properly.
What I'm liking, he does
he's
step to the outside.
Pressed it up with a couple of gloves on the side. Now he's on the back foot. He needs to get himself on the front foot. He's stepping in now. His toes are nice, his feet's active, but he's still not setting up that shot. He needs to lead him with a jab or set jab up and come in. Or put him against the ropes. Do you understand?
I would say with an opponent like this, what I would personally do, you have to push them back. If they're comfortable taking single or maybe a couple of numerous shots, push them off balance and then throw the shot that you want.
He's visibly bigger as well, you can see.
A trick that I like to use.
I know he's back and forth, but if he squares his feet off and then closes him down and allows, that space to come in, he could easily do what he's good at. Little body shot and over right. As he covers his face up and then follow through with the right and then feints it back right hand again.
One of my tricks for landing the shots that I like, Paul taught me this, it's not really from boxing, it's mainly seen in kickboxing. You step in with a 1-2-1. What that does, as long as you take a small,
we saw that from Broxton
step,
Bomber earlier. Did you notice that from the Broxton Bomber earlier? He was doing that 1-2-1, then he stepped out, but then what his biggest problem was, he he allowed himself a little bit too much time to follow through.
So I like to use that to apply the pressure. You step in with a 1-2-1, and then you slip them for a left hook, because 9 times out of 10, you push them off balance, they fire back in a straight line down, you slip out, that's a free left hook.
Well, what I was taught was to throw the jab, but then slip back a little bit with your head back, step back, right hand and roll. Which is, you know, you've seen Mayweather do a lot of times, but it's very effective. But when you jab and then they step back, and you see them on the ropes, you understand that they're going to cover up because you're a bigger unit. You know, your shoulders are bigger. Which is obviously, Danny's shoulders are a lot bigger. And he could use that ring very, you know, if he wants to, cut that ring up and allow him to cover on the ropes.
They've shared a beautiful dance this time. It's a footwork masterclass from both.
Danny's allowing him to do his work, and he should be straight on him, allowing him to come back. Would you agree?
Half and half. I think he does need to apply a little bit more pressure.
So he's jabbing now, his hands are low. If Danny literally pushed him forward, he's going to go to the ropes. So he's being allowed time.
As well, though, Danny wants him to come onto him because he's been training as well, pull back on the hook. So then if the opponent throws a wild right hand per se, and Danny steps back with a left hook, his opponent is falling forwards with that.
Danny's got great power though, so he should be at this moment in time, authorising his size.
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
got
stepping forward, side size, and cut him off, and then use the body shot and come in.
He's got the options.
Because he's visually bigger, isn't he?
Yeah. He's just got to decide what the right one is. Nice little exchange there. Not too many shots landed clean there, though.
Problem is, at this moment in time, he's stepping back. But because he's bigger, like, he shouldn't be doing that. Follow through with that jab. Every time he jabs, step forward, allow him to go back. Because he is visibly scared of it in a way. You can watch. You know, the power is hitting him. That's why he's stepping away. But he's getting drawn into his game, in a way.
Well, let's take a look at this fighter's background. This Emmanuel, he's got a history in kickboxing, and in that distance, it's a bit more spaced out than boxing. Danny's
of course, but you know when it comes to boxing, when someone's applying the pressure, you'll always go backwards.
Yeah.
Put your hands up. Danny has the power, if he asserts himself, to go forward and assert ring and hurt him.
I think personally for me, that's Danny, but avoiding bias, that could probably go either way.
I would probably go with Danny just by an inch.
Yeah.
Maybe a split decision.
I think he's edged it. It was a great fight, though.
Well, a great fight, but Danny could definitely do a lot better.
Yeah. That's good, though. Leave himself a target for when he goes for that rematch.
He could definitely do a lot better, because if he follows through with the jabs that he comes with the power punch after, it leaves the opponent to step back, absorb it, and then if you follow through because he's heavier, leave him on the ropes and utilize them body shots.
It's a problem that a lot of people have in the ring, though, isn't it? You get greedy trying to find that one-shot finish, and then you end up not throwing enough because you want to make it look cool.
He could have
easily
finish. Put him on back foot, he'd be on hands up, and then with his power Danny's got, put the body shots.
Dance power.
body kills, man. If you hit the body kills. But I completely agree. I think it's a Danny win, yes.
Yeah.
Split decision, probably. So split, wasn't it? Split decision, wasn't it?
No, they called it a draw.
Ooh, bloody hell.
For every right decision that the refs made tonight, he's allowed a couple dodgy ones.
I mean,
it was close.
Me personally, I would have gone for a split decision in Danny's favour.
Yeah, I think it was close, but maybe not close enough for a draw.
I don't think he was active enough, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like he was just looking for that one-shot finish, and because he couldn't find it, he just ended up not throwing enough at all. That's what made it the draw.
Well, the opponent was very, very on his toes, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He made it difficult for him to set the shots up.
Tricky with his spacing because he's used to being at kicking range, not punching
Danny's more
range.
than capable of setting the shots up, but what it was, like you related to before, because of what happened last time, he might have been sceptical about, you know, putting the finish on and getting caught.
Yeah.